Hey, good evening, everyone. And yeah, this is probably you don't know me, but my name is StaleDevil, and I'll be casting some games tonight for Supreme Commander Force Alliance on the FAF Dojo event for the Heavyweight Olympics. Basically, it's everyone above 1500 rating, and that is ranked rating, of course. And yeah. We had some participants signing up for those, and yeah, it's going to be a best of 3 series in a map order that they'll have to play. So yeah. And speaking of the maps, let me just pull them up for you guys. We've got 3 beautiful maps for you, the players. As well, they had to face each other in these maps in order. So the first game is always going to be Eye of the Storm. It's going to be the FAF version. All maps are 10 by 10 variants of those. And yeah, it's going to be quite an interesting match. We're going to have a couple of replays tonight. We're going to have 4 replays. 2 of each player, so you kind of know the score kind of. In that regards, but yeah, it's gonna be great. The first game that we'll go over is going to be, let me double check what the thing was. It's Evan versus Obi-Dog. Yeah, so that's gonna be our first game for tonight. It's gonna be great. Normally, you know, I will not cast these because, you know, I'm not super knowledgeable about Supreme Commander. I know the basics. Well, basics. I kind of stall a lot. That's all you kind of need to know. But yeah. Yeah, let's see. What do we have? We have this. Cool. Alright, so we have our first game here. See our nice rankings here. 1700 and 1800. So both should be pretty aware of, you know, how to play their games. It's going to be a random, it seems, versus an UEF. So Evan is going to play as UEF. And we'll have Obi-Dog playing as random, so it seems. So I'm gonna see how that is going to work out for us. And yeah, let us launch the game. Let's see if that works fine. All right, cool. And we're in. Let me actually get the game audio. Cool. So we have on the top left we have Evan, and on the bottom we have Obi-Dog. So we'll have Evan starting off with a land factory, standard opening, it seems, and we have some second air already queued here for Obi-Dog. Is that second air? Looks like second air. But yeah, and a nice queue coming up here. Some early labs here, and mostly engineers here for Evan's side here first. Right. Going for that early reclaim for the engineers here. Might be a little bit late here on the hydro assist, but we're starting the hydro here. We got a second air factory here for Obi-Dog, it seems. Oh, we got another second 2 air factories queued up near the hydro. Interesting. So we got here Evan assisting with the second engineer, and Dog is currently queuing up some nice reclaim pads, and definitely got his work cut out here. Let's see. We have an engineer moving out here for Evan. So far, it looks about decent pace for both of them. We got another air factory here. So we got possible 3 air factories early on here. Against 2 air factories for Obi. So both these players I don't know personally, so it's the first time I see them. So yeah, it's gonna be great. You see Evan already moving out here. We got a first bomber coming out here from Obi. Let's see if anything is going to... Oh yeah, I got a first interceptor. It's defensive. A scout plane here. We got 2 scout planes here from Evan. So definitely see how that will go here along around. The bomber is not gonna do anything here. It gets shot down, so the first bomber is not gonna do the works here. It seems like Evan is going to be able to establish air control here. Queued up 2 naval factories as well. Very nice. We'll be slightly ahead on reclaim here. So, not a whole lot of course since it's still early game, but Dog still has a little bit of mass in their storage to work with. A lot is going on here. A nice air battle. I'm trying to establish control in the middle here. A PD queued up here in the middle as well for these lovely engineers. Actually gonna reclaim first before it, so it first goes for all the reclaim, the max points, and then goes for the PD eventually. I'm not sure if this is the right order. Normally you want to have a PD to prevent the opponent from establishing control on the mid island. Got a nice radar up here. Got Evan doing the works. He's looking good so far on Eco. He's not stalling. There's a nice transport. But so far, it's still pretty active. Alright. Both of them looking great here on expanding. Both are pretty much equal on mass income. 27 versus 25. A whole lot of difference here. Bombered, but Dog is slowly expanding that that reclaim lead. So it seems they are going to be clashing on the top here. Idle engineers here. Okay, they found it. Let's see here. It's the queue here. Both of them going with their commander towards the top side. Obi is sending some bombers ahead just in case some engineers are up there building stuff, but looks fine so far. He has a tank and a scout on the bottom side as well, Evan, so we'll be able to deny this engineer on the bottom if he detects it. Both players should be able to see the other comm. No, not quite yet. Evan, does Evan see it? No. working on it, and then Evan's going slightly ahead here on the mess. Right now, Obi's kind of in a trouble because right now Evan is expanding towards the bottom and is contesting with this commander on the top, dropping in a couple of engineers. Very nice. Obi going for a little bit of reclaim, but ultimately lets down the expansion, meaning that Evan is able to start building up defenses here very nicely. Hasn't it sent engineers down to the bottom yet to grab the southern expansion? But so far, look at that. The air control looks to be back in control for Obi Dog. Look at all those inties. We also have some frigates coming out here from Evan as well. What's Evan doing on eco? Yes. Oh, he was power stunning for a little bit, but he's fixing it right now with some pigeons. Yeah. It's going to be fine for now.
Commander under attack.
Obi Dog tanking the PD. Oh, look at this. Look at the air control. Look at all these inties. Obi should be able to maintain air control if he plays his cards right. Doesn't have any naval units though, so it'd be a bit difficult to contest those frigates right now. Does have of course bombers, but cannot use all willy-nilly those bombers. Looks like air control is going to be going towards Obi Dog, but map control right now is in Evan's hands. Reclaim still in favor of Obi Dog. The reclaim can only carry you so far into the game. Look at that. Evan, almost 10 mass. No? Okay. Maybe the 30 is reclaim related, but almost 10 mass per tick ahead here above Obi Dog. And now establishing on both corners of the map here. Very nice. Das Ocelot. Hello. Really spamming up some land factories on the bottom side. And so far, the air control is nice, but if you cannot maintain any air situation, looks. We got some anti-air turrets. Just pushing away Obi Dog's air. Tried to airlock in, but it's not working out. And now you lost both corners of the map, so you kind of have to do something. And of course, the naval is there right on your doorstep. The frigates are going to town here. Nothing that Obi Dog directly can do. You can of course send in the bombers, but the bombers will take a lot of time before they were able to take out those frigates. Maybe put too many stuff on one basket in air control and not enough expansion perhaps on one lane. Right now Evan is the map control. It's a nice bombing run. Takes out a nicely couple of maxes here. 81 maxes, but it's still nice. Would like to see Obi Dog maybe take control of the middle island, since he has air control after all. So you might want to grab these. And they're well shielded from the frigates, so it's very hard to reach that. Still, frigates are being built nicely. No T2 yet from both parties. Nope, no, never mind. We got T2 air here from Obi Dog. This might come in handy for Obi Dog. Oust Evan out of the top corner here, in the top right. Takes out their land factories and their defenses, and Evan early trying to erect some air turrets here. Knows he doesn't have the air control. And now behind tech, was ahead of eco. Obi Dog spending it into T2 air. should be able to lock this down perfectly. Look at all those bombers flying out here. Looked a bit hairy early on, giving away a lot of map control, but won the air battle in this regards. NT is getting shot for free by some frigates. Oh, and Evan is bowing out. It's like, I lost air control. It's nice I have Navy, but I'm about to lose the bottom side as well. Maybe a bit too greedy on double naval factory. We did had 1, 2, 3 air factory, 4 air factories. Okay. Versus 1, 2, 3, also 4 air factories, but where Evan expanded into Navy, Obidog expanded into T2 Air, and was able to get that off going on along. And of course, there's a limited range, of course, as in the T1 frigates can hurt you on this beach. Cannot fully, hit the main base as they would like to see. But yeah, very nice early game here from Obidog. Looked a bit iffy on the expansion side, of course, but yeah, definitely a good show that worked out for them. All right. Good. So that was game 1 here for Obidog. Very nice. Good stuff, good stuff. So we got 1-0 here for Obidog. We're gonna look onto the next game soon. It's going to be another map, I think. Yes. It's going to be... Which map was it? Mystic Land. Right. So, same stuff here. 10x10 map. And can take a quick look at this map in a little bit bigger detail. So there's a lot of max points to be taken here. There's a lot of stuff to contest here on this map as well. So yeah, it's definitely going to be quite an active battle trying to take out as many maxes as possible, because there's maxes all over the map. There's going to be maxes all over the map, so they'll have to keep contesting. There are some hills, so to see, so might be good to get some air drops going here and there. Maybe you might be able to see some proxy builds. Could be potentially possible. Would be cool. But yeah, let's see. Evan sticking to their guns, keeping Aeon. No, not Aeon. UEF here versus Obidog's random select. So can jump right into there. Cool. All right. In we go. Game number 2 here. Obidog here getting Aeon. Going first land here. Both of them, very nice. There's a Hydro for them nearby. There's a lot of reclaim on this map as well. So, very nice. About 20k reclaim. It's not too bad. Definitely a thing you want to contest. And there's a lot of course, max points, as we said earlier. Interesting. Obidog not going for the Hydro Rush here. Instead goes for the base opening, or at least builds a couple of P-Gens first. Whereas Evan immediately goes for the Hydro, which is typical of your starter. Maybe Obi-Dog knows something about this map's build order to grab the first bit of reclaim on their side here on the hills, and look at that. There's still a lot of reclaim on Evan's side here. Got a second land here. Building more P-gens. Okay, another land here, also second land. Let's see, we got some early raid parties here. Land Scout and a Flare, very nice. Assault bot. No early harass from Obi-Dog here. Go straight into tanks. Both players not expanding super aggressively, but mainly keeping to the build power and the close range reclaims. You see a couple of maxes queued up here for Evan on the bottom right side. Got us mixed. I'm UAF on the right. Yes. Yeah, Obi-Dog picked random and got Aeon. So. So got a couple of a tank with an engineer. Look at this. The flares might be able to come in here and pick off this engineer. Let's see. Looking good so far on both sides. Let's see the reclaim. Both are pretty much on par. Storage is on par. But Evan is slightly faster with the expanding, as we saw in the first game as well. So let's see if Evan can capitalize on that early strength of expanding earlier on. We got triple land and then an air factory for Obi-Dog. We got going for a 5th land here, 6th land even for Evan. Looking good so far. Yet Flare did take out that engineer on the bottom here. It's going all over the place. We got a nice early scout from Obi-Dog here. Gets a nice view on what the status is and how far behind or ahead he is. Now, look at that. Obi-Dog catching up here. 33 max income. Reclaim wise, definitely 1k up here in terms of reclaim. So, saw that last time as well. Obi-Dog reclaiming is slightly more efficient. But Evan slightly faster in expanding. But look at this. Look at the difference. Obi-Dog already like has their corner of the map mostly of all the maxes, and Evan still needs to catch up a little bit here on the bottom side. Does have as a commander up there to, of course, stop any offensive push, but look at this. Obi-Dog in the middle of the map. Goes for some extra maxes and goes for another land factory. Probably a reclaim factory. It's looking kind of grim here for... Needs to catch up here on expanding. Obi-Dog is taking the map control right now. Let's see any fun shenanigans coming up. Mostly land spam. Nothing out of the ordinary here. Let's see, what is Evan working on? Air factories, okay. More land. Okay, does see the control here. It's going to be a Warriors versus the Strikers. Warriors have a lot of range. Too much gain? Over voltage? What do you mean? Am I too loud? It's not peaking for me. Like overgaining or something? I can lower the gain. Like a wasp. Interesting. Alright, so Evan got T2. Land done. Very nice. So this time Evan is ahead on the tech scaling. Maybe that's why he didn't have that many tanks early on. Look at that. Hobie Dog comfortably ahead here on mass per tick. Reclaim is about equal for both parties. Can Evan transition properly for the tech scaling? Oh, we got T2 here for the dog as well. Yeah, Evan slowly catching up. We got here no upgrades so far on both comms. Both seems to be happy with spamming T1 tanks and going for a tech upgrade. Looks like the tank situation for Hobie Dog is looking pretty good. 55 tanks here versus 29. So definitely behind on tank production here for Evan. Small little drops here. We got pretty nice map control. Uh-oh. Is this handy? You want to push in here? Did you AFK your calm? Oh, now he wrecks. I think Hobie Dog can just kill him here. There's a lot of tanks. And chase him down. Alright. Yeah, dipping below 3,000. Below 2,000. Aurors have pretty decent range. Ooh. Doesn't want to commit yet on fully pushing out Evan out of the game. That was close though from Evan. I definitely feel like this was more than enough tanks to walk him down. Let's see, Evan almost a veterancy up as well. Probably looking to get that vet up, so we'll get a chunk of HP back. And yeah. So far, how is things going along? A lot of P-gens coming up here. Not sure if you know, since you already had early T2, you might want to go, going for T3. Land new. Does he go for more engineer assistance? Yes, he does. Very nice. So going for that early T3 and early. He has 112 income. Definitely able to utilize that income to go for that early T3. So Hobie Dog here definitely on a map control lead, and now also going for a tech advantage, going for T3. It's probably gonna be done in about a minute or so. And Evan is mass stalling quite a bit. Does get some reclaim back and forth. Pulled back there, calm. Really goes for nano repair here. A bit expensive. But desperate times calls for desperate measures. It's pretty rough here for Evan. Lost the early map control this time compared to the other game. Now T3 is done. And immediately we are going for Harbs. We got a T3 engineer and then Harbs it is. Still working on that nano repair. It's about 40% done. Nice beefy tanks here, although a bit slow. That's a nice reclaim here on the engineers. A lot of vision here. Look at all these radars. Right now, Evan looking pretty blind here. No more radars up, so only has to rely on scouts for vision right now, or their units. So that is a bit rough. Alright, nano repair is done. Very nice. Does Obi have any upgrades? No, they don't. They do have, of course, the tech advantage. The harps are coming out right now. Can Obi actually respond in kind here? No, it doesn't have the mass for it to justify going for T3. So this does look like to be a slow and painful death, because right now they're almost 3 times the eco of Evan. So Obi comfortably ahead here in terms of eco. Tanks on the field. Despite being behind on eco and pretty much has technically not enough mass per tick to justify going for T3 land. We're still working on going for T3 land anyway. Maybe pausing a couple of factories here and there, because you already have T2 factories, so you don't need T1 maybe. Right now, the remaining T2 units are getting picked off. And the Harbs are gathering around. That is quite unfortunate. Tries to upgrade a couple of maxes close to their core base, but look at this. Already nice and comfortably on, let's see, 2, 3, 6, 7 T2 maxes. Very nice. And upgrading 3 at the same time. Yeah, I'm cooked. Yeah, definitely sees it. Doesn't really have the eco to justify it. And calls it a GG. Alright. Interesting set of games where in the first game we had Evan very strong in the expansion, but eventually got airlocked out. Maybe a bit too greedy on a second naval factory. One naval might have been okay-ish. But yeah. The second game here, definitely more in Obidog's favor in terms of reclaiming an expansion. And definitely see the outcome here on the map control. Didn't get properly a foothold on the map on the bottom side. And usually the bottom side you want to, contest for your units, where as you come, you goes to your top maxes here and grab this expansion. It's unfortunate, but definitely not bad. Cool. All right, so let's see. That is 2-0, so that means that is it for Evan here. So we got 2-0 for Obidog, which is according to challenge, and it is a best of 3. I think they played. Did they play the third game? Not sure. Let me double check. No, it doesn't seem they played the third game for funsies. So it is going to be a 2-0 here for Obidog, and very nicely, we'll take the game here from Evan. Cool. All right. Let's see. What game do we have next? I think the next game we had was the games from Relia. Let's see. Test games. Test games. I don't want your test games, Relia. I want your games against hybrids. Hybrids. Look on here. Search result 0. That's not useful. Let's search for those games. Ah, there we go. 1v1 Relia versus hybrid underscore. Got it. Cool. So this is a pretty fast game. 70 minutes. Recently even, and both are on Aeon. Interesting. Both 20k or 2k players. So definitely looking good here. So again, let's take a look at the first map again. So they're going to play the first map here, Eye of the Storm, FAF version, and last time with Evan and Obidog, we saw Evan aggressively expanding towards both sides, and the middle was kind of a no man's land, except, you know, Inti duking it out. So I'm curious to see how Relia and Hybrid will pick out this map, how they will play it out, and yeah. Hope the zooming is still not there, but I don't personally hear it in my monitoring audio, so that's kind of the weird part. And also didn't hear it in the local recordings when I did the local recordings last week as well as a couple of days ago. So we're gonna see how that works out. First, let me put in the names. Reset score. We will have Relia and we'll have Hybrid. Cool. Awesome. Cool. So, got this. And then, let's see, Relia and Hybrid going at it today. Very cool. Everything is set up. Let me start the game. It's cool. All right. Launching. Yes, no, yes, maybe. There we go. Cool. Alright, hybrid on the top left, and we've got Realia on the bottom right here. And going for first land here. And hybrid as well. Goes for the standard openings here, looks like. Goes for 2 P-gens. Yeah. Realia goes also for the same opening. Looks like it. So both maybe delaying the Hydro a little bit. I'm always curious how, what the reasoning behind that is for, in that regards. Why some of them manually delay the Hydro. Uh-oh. I would already say I forgot to build Engies. I don't read the rules, we can pause. Read the rules, can I build Engies? Uh-oh. So we got slightly delay in Engie production for hybrid. Let's see if this small mistake does cost him this game. Goes for second air here for Realia. Hydro is being built here, but there's only one engineer. And while that is going, yes, Carbohydrate Hydro is almost done here with those 2 engineers. Doesn't assist it with this calm, but 2 engineers is more than enough. It seems early on aggression towards the center of the island here from Realia. Again here goes for the early mass picks first instead of securing the area. We're going very early Navy factory here as well from hybrid. Interesting choice. Maybe feels like I'm slightly behind on air, and maybe some attack boats, some anti-air attack boats might help him take out, you know, the air in the pond. It is Aeon, of course, so slightly different than the overall other stuff for other factions in that regards. Let's see. Some more PGen. Look at that. Second air factory is already up and running here for Realia. Alright, transport is loaded. Where are we gonna drop? We are gonna drop south here. Very nice, okay. So Realia going for more of a walking approach rather than a dropping approach, it seems. More focused towards the center, while as in hybrid we'll be dropping the bottom side here. Look at that, Realia goes with their calm towards the bottom side as well. Very nice. Should be able to maybe contest this nice little spot. It seems like both players will be moving towards the top side. It's hybrid's commander that's going for the top right here. What the fuck, bug? Hybrid's already complaining. Oh, game resumed. Okay. We dropped onto the thing. It's a building. Oops. A little bit of idle factory. Goes for a aggressive drop to steal some of maybe the reclaim and the... Nope, just drops a flare. Hoping to kill a engineer, but look at this. Oh my goodness. Aggressive airlock attempt here, but nice little anti-air turret. And the quick work of that attempt. Realia will be taking the middle island pretty comfortably. both now having a naval factory. Even though Hybrid got their naval factory up early, didn't really result it into that much advantage over Aurelia right now. Look at that. Aurelia going comfortably here with 700 more reclaim factor in that regards. Hybrid slightly ahead here in terms of mass per tick. Still has those flares on the top edges here of these little outskirts, those little tail islands. Oh, look at that. Aurelia dropping an early engineer here, right before Hybrid eventually arrives. It's gonna take at least 1.5 minutes. Meantime, it's gonna be. I don't think they'll be able to finish this off in time for the PD, or it might not matter. Look at this. Really has nice air control. Yeah, and there we go. The attack boats will be in play. A couple of submarines to counteract. Look at that. Goes for the frigate. Some nice scouting here from Aurelia. We'll see what is going on. Let's see then. For those nice juicy rocks. Still plenty of reclaim to grab here. Yeah, there's still about 2.5k on the map, so this map is so boring. Yeah, sometimes it do be like that. Sets up an early land factory here. And look at that, really did get the PD up in time. Very nice. Both don't really have that much vision across the map. Well, we got 2 radars here, nicely spread out, but got some 3 radars over here from Hybrid. Aurelia will be taking out the Hydro here from range. Does have a defensive PD here. Goes for a second one. Just nicely up rapid here. Let's see how's the situation here. In control. It's looking good here.
Commander under attack.
Uh oh, but Aurelia is power issues. That's fixed it a little bit right now, so. Does have the middle island here nicely under control. Look at that. Might be looking to airlock Hybrid again. Both players. Well, we got a T2 air factory here from Aurelia. We have a T2 air factory here from. No, there's actually a lot of less built factories as in production for Hybrid compared to Aurelia. Look at this. So many more factories here from Aurelia early on. So maybe to churn out more units faster. But this might bite Aurelia up. Still needs to grab these 3 maxes over here. Slightly behind on terms of total mass per tick. But he is ahead in reclaim. Aurelia also still has not a whole lot of power. He's working on fixing it, so. Hybrids. Looks like their T2 PGen just finished up.
Commander under attack.
Alright, they're going into the 2 PDs. I actually did destroy them already. So we will be able to contest this. And it looks like Hybrid already took out the top right spot from Aurelia as well. But Aurelia still has, of course, the center island, the 4 mexes over there, which is pretty safe against T1 Navy, so definitely will be fine here. While we will see how this will both go. He has a nice veterancy up here, so as hybrid. So still trying to take out the last bit of factories, or a little bit of stuff here. Let's grab some nice engineers, puts on the radar. Oh, he has to be careful with some love. T2 and T1 air coming in. At least coming in close, maybe trying to threaten that position. Well, we also see a nice self here trying to shoot down the production. It's not working out so far. Ah, the torp bombers. Yep. Very strong against T1 units. The torp bombers will take care of your units like that. And it's going for a T2 naval factory here. Very expensive. Has paused their T2 air factory, including the engineers. We have another T2. You have two T2 air factories and currently working hard on their T2 naval factory. Naval factory will allow them to, of course, bombard the middle island and deal with enough SAMs, right? With anti-air ships. But then again, we already saw that Riela already had torp bombers, so might be rough to keep that T2 naval factory. Thus able to complete it. Hasn't built any anti-air defenses around their T2 naval, so we might be able to see some sniping here. Got some nice specters coming in, taking out the engineers. Interesting. Oh, spotted the kill. Hybrids, what are you gonna do? Yeah, immediately going into the water here, and we got a nice naval battle coming in. Look at that. It's going in the way of Hybrid, so it seems. Yeah, it seems that Hybrid won the air battle here for this game. Spectres are pulling back, the calm is in the water. There's not much to contest here. Surprised that Aurelia doesn't push this, because they do have 2 radars here, so they know there's not a lot here. Maybe go for a T2 radar so you can see that there isn't really anything here. Well, they do have a T2 radar here, but it goes all the way towards here, so they still don't really have much intel. Nice Hybrid trying to go for an airlock play for themselves. Aurelia goes for a T2 Navy factory. And now, yeah, they threw air. Now they're pretty darn unhappy about that. Hybrids currently through the air battle against Aurelia. What are they doing on terms of eco? Aurelia has catched up on the mass per tick gain versus Hybrid, and it's nicely 2k ahead in terms of reclaim, or at least almost 2k ahead. They're also slightly more efficient in their kill ratio. Now taking out the top right side here. Hybrids. Contemplating, should I surrender? Is this still winnable? Do they have enough intel to justify taking out anything that they have? And there comes the Tor Bombers. Nope. That's gonna be it. It's a Control K here from Hybrid. That's going to be it here. What looked again like a good map control from Hybrid early game. They did fuck up a couple of times. They mentioned that in chat. In global chat towards Rayla. But yeah, did get outproduced eventually by Raylia. Didn't had a lot of factories, to be honest. You had one T2 factory on naval, two T2 factories on air, and one land factory. Versus Raylia's a lot more, you know, two air factories here, another air factory here, two land factories here. So a lot more build capacity for Raylia on in terms of air, because you could just put this on inties, yeah, inties and scouts, and then these two are your T2 air in the support factory, of course. Two engineer factories, very nice. So definitely like to aggressively expand and try to fight as much as possible. Didn't actually reclaim all of the island. I would have expected Rayla to grab all this mass on the island, since they early already established control on this island, right? So I would have thought, you know, they would definitely grab all of this this mass. But yeah, didn't work out for the first game here for Hybrid. Oh boy, oh boy. So 1-0 here for Raylia. Let's see, in the second game is going to be Mystic Land again. Okay. Let's see how they picked here. Ah, it's going to be UEF versus Aeon this time. So last game, both players had Aeon. I know some players like to, you know, place Aeon on certain maps, so maybe Hybrid didn't felt comfortable enough to play Aeon on this map, so maybe they just switch it around and just go for UEF on this map instead. So yeah. Let's see, what else do we need to discuss? No, I think that's all good. We can start the other game. Boom. In we go. 3, 2, 1. Yes, no, yes, no. Preparing reading files. Gotta love it, man. Hope it's not an IC adapter crash. I always get those. And I don't know why. I don't know why. It still says preparing game, reading file list. It's kind of cringe because it's just a 1v1 game on a 10x10 map. Yikes. I think the FAF client is broken. So let me quickly kill FAF. And we'll do it a little bit different. Retry it. So yeah, so far we haven't had any white fire map between the players thus far today. Mostly a good mix of maps. So Eye of the Storm, definitely a mix of everything, but probably air and land is more prominent. If you get air control, you get T2 Navy and then pretty much kill everything. But that's only if you can keep the T2 Navy alive, of course. You know, that's the whole premise of it. Okay, might be one thingy. This one, cool. Reading files. All right, we have a game. Awesome. All right, so we got again in the red top left corner, we got Realia, and we got the bottom right in Cyan, we got Hybrid. He's bragging on playing on 240 hertz. You know, there's also a 240 hertz full screen in FAF Dojo. So, giving a nice little talk to each other about all the nice settings you can have. Cool. So we got first land. I think that is second land and third air. Okay. What do we see here? We're going for a dedicated hydro rush here for Hybrid here. Very nice. Goes for triple land and then fourth air. So slightly delaying their air, maybe trying to grab a little bit more land for expanding and tanks. So both players definitely able to contest the map properly. Interesting. So see Rayleigh here grabbing the rocks in between, but Hybrid doesn't grab the rocks in between. Definitely going for the max points only, it seems like. Maybe a slight optimization thing that Hybrid could work on. Okay, we got the build power being added towards the commander. Look at that, we got 3 land factories up and running here for Hybrid. Definitely looks forward to possibly get an early harass off against Realia to really disrupt them. So far it's looking good. This is a kind of interesting way to make PGN builds. Let's see. Slowly getting out of power here for Hybrid. Definitely needs to build more power soon, else they will power stall. Which is not the most ideal thing you want to do. Look at that. We have early harass on the bottom left side here from Hybrid. No harass from Realia so far. Grabbing the rocks this time. Yeah, we got an engineer on a attack move from the factory. Okay, moving in a little bit closer here. Do we get an engineer kill, perhaps? No. Do have an attack command here probably soon. No, they're chilling here. Here comes a scout here from Hybrid. Let's see. What are they able to scout? They see an engineer. Hey, look at that. Immediately going for the engineer. Very smart. Sees the other engineer over there. Nice place. Go grab that engineer. We did get, of course, the mass factory up and running. But I think, yeah, they're definitely looking forward to getting more engineer kills. Oh, getting spotted by a land scout. To escape. So far, still no raids from Rayla. Definitely prioritizes in getting those factories up early in comparison. And look at that. This looking quite a lot of factories here. 8 factories here for Raylia and 8 factories here for hybrid. But also got a nice air factory in between here, and definitely is one factory behind Raylia for possible tank production. Didn't get anything out for that so far. Let's see, how's the reclaim going? Players are working on scooping up that reclaim in towards the center here. There's from early radar. They have hybrid still needs more power to properly spend their mass, so it's hovering up and down here. And Rayla's flowing mass is quite the opposite, so they kind of have to spend the mass more in order to properly keep on reclaiming that mass. So far, in terms of total mass per ticks, it's pretty even. In terms of reclaim, wow, look at that. Comfortably 2k ahead here from Raylia on that reclaim. So definitely has more wiggle room, but also has 1k of mass in storage, so definitely needs to spend that mass. 1.1k. Yeah, it's pretty much almost full like earlier as well, so. And it's still filling up slightly. So you want to keep spending it. Aurelia is ahead, of course, in terms of factories. Goes for that T2 land, has it done. Goes for a couple of engineers first. Look at that T2 here from hybrid as well. Do we have any comm upgrades? Nope. Neither of them have any commander upgrades yet. Neither have a energy storage either. So they couldn't really go for a gun even if they wanted to. Unless they go, of course, for a T2 PGen. And then, you know, then you produce so much power that you can just start gun whenever. Uh-oh, suiciding their units into a comm. It's never a good proposition. Look at that. Look at the tank production here from Raylia. Let's count here the tanks. 60 Auroras, or 64, versus 31. So, definitely is more efficient in their trade-offs. Look at that, 1.5 versus 0.6. So really definitely more efficient with their tanks than hybrid right now. Slowly getting ahead in terms of mass per tick as well. I'm stalling so hard, says hybrid. For real. Well, you're not stalling that hard, to be honest. You still have 300 mass in the bank, so I think you're totally fine. Oh no, actually, I was looking at the wrong one. Hybrid is stalling. They're stalling minus 80. But if you know you're stalling, you need to pause your factories. We all know that, right? He's trying to build that PGen. Has built that PGen, but still stalling slightly a bit of mass.
under
He's
attack.
building another air factory. That's not good. There's still good rocks to grab here, so there's a lot of reclaim. Goes for T2 air. No, T2 air got cancelled. T3 land for hybrid. Skipping T2 phase here. Very risky. You do, of course, have the mass income for it, but it is quite risky to just skip out on T2 units here. Maybe doesn't believe in the T2 units right now because maybe he feels like he's behind and needs to make a play. There's still a lot of reclaim to be had here. Look at this. Yeah, there's still a good chunk, 5k reclaim here to grab. Drops the factory, that is good. Uh-oh, Aurelia overflowing soon. Oh, are we spending it? Click more mexes? Maybe? Ah, there we go. Spending it. Meanwhile, the other side of the coin, we got hybrids. Fluctuating pretty hard here. Almost has T3 land. But we'll need to pause their factories. You don't need those T1 and T2 factories in that point. If you have a T3 land factory where you want to produce Perseus from, for example. There's a lot of mass here for you to grab as well, of course. So you can grab mass and patrol route with your commander just to grab it. He cancelled his factory build order here. Meanwhile, Rayla is taking the map control. And T3 is done here for Rayla as well. And he goes for some harps first. So has T2 air. Very nice. It's nice coverage here in terms of radar coverage. So that'll work just nicely. Look at that. As all this vision definitely knows that they have way more units than hybrid has. Comms both still no upgrades. So they're very unit heavy on this map, it seems. Both not really investing in upgrading their comms. And it does look very dire here. It does have some shields. Got those blazes. They're pretty good on range. Still not able to grab all this reclaim. Look at this. Pretty clean here on both sides. It's mostly the center where most of the fighting is happening right now, but Hybrids is not able to contest it properly. Does have energy storage for overcharge, so that is a thing. Aurelia doesn't have any energy storage to work with. Small little push here. And there we see the harps coming into play here. Still have a lot of factories here. Another support factory on T3. Can you actually afford that on 88 mass per tick though? Or mass stalling a lot, but again, Aurelia still hovering just even on power here. Did get this nice push, but pretty much the mass has been donated towards all the harbs. Did almost manage to kill a harp here, so the other ones are still pretty healthy. Right now there are pretty much no units on the field for hybrid. Of course, a couple of titans, but the harps will do pretty good against the titans. And of course, Raylia is almost double the eco here, and look at that, almost 10k lead in Raylia's favor in terms of reclaiming. It's about 8k right now, so. Ooh, is that handy? No, that is not handy. There's a lot of blazes in there. Do you really want to kill your own calm for that? Yeah, oh shit. Yeah, absolutely. Raylia, do they notice this? Hybrid taking a lot of fire. Actually, keeps it safe. Meanwhile, got some other idle titans. Maybe you could use the titans to raid the back maxes, take out some eco. Look at that reclaim that hybrid desperately needs to survive because they're stalling like crazy still. They have T2
Commander under attack.
maxes here and there, but nothing ringed yet. In particular, Raylia is starting to ring. Even has a T3 max here. Interesting. A nice push here from Hybrid. Nice under the shields. Alright, takes out the PD. Got another assault here against the Harbs here. Nice surrounding here by Hybrids. The Harbs, they do have a nice strong shield. They will do nicely against the Titans. They're not as tanky as Percy's. They are fast, of course. They will take out these blazes pretty well. But against the Harps, and if you have a lot of them, they might do well, but usually the Harps will take out the Titans pretty well because of their shield. Look at that. He has to flee. I'm floating 4k. Yeah, you are. You need to spend it on more max upgrades? Question mark. You just killed. Yeah, pretty much. And that's it. The Harps are closing in. There's nothing that Hybrid can do much against it unless overcharging. Yeah, and that is going to be it. Surrounded and that will be it. It's gonna be Raylia that will be taking this game in the bag, and as well this set going for 2-0 here against Hybrid. Very nice. Did manage to get some eco going, but unfortunately it was just not enough to take out Raylia. Just expanding way faster early on. They had more factories early on, and maybe a bit overproduced on some of the other factories that you don't need anymore. Okay, that's fine. Maybe too many. That is idle. Okay, that's fine. Another support factory here. A lot of T1 air factories. Three pieces. Yeah, maybe just a little bit overproduced on factories because they had about 80 mass per tech, 90 mass per tech. You need about 60 for one T3 factory, so maybe a bit too greedy on the second support factory. Actually, yeah, two T3 support factories. So definitely overspending a little bit on the mass. Maybe felt like they didn't really had map control and then trying to desperately get more units out, but yeah. It is what it is. It is what it is. So yeah, that's gonna be it. It's gonna be 2-0 here for Realia, and that's pretty much the replays that I have left for today. I don't think I have any other replays that were ready. Let's see. Nope, that was it. So yeah. Quick, that was a quick stream. Thanks for watching. And maybe next time we get more replays. Maybe even live games. That would be even more great. I was hoping for some commentators today as well, instead of me, because, you know, I don't really play this game like on a super high level like these players does. So, you know, my commentary input might not be on par on the regular cast and the regular, you know, stronger players. So, but nevertheless, hope you enjoyed today, and hope to see you guys next time. See ya.